Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. You already know if you're new to the page, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. I'm never going to stop asking. Hey, let's get the likes up on this video, all right? So we're going to talk about soft landing versus recession versus no landing. They can't make up their minds which one it is. Everybody's confused because no one knows what the heck is going on with the market. No one knows. That's why we are simply going to trade the market that we are in. All right? Give this a listen, good people.
Today is Valentine's Day, and I think there were some people worrying about a Valentine's Day massacre in the market if the inflation rate had turned out to be higher than expected. It came in pretty much with expectations, and I think that's why the market took it in stride. And I think we still have a moderating trend in inflation. Remember, the Fed is looking at the consumption deflator more than they're looking at the CPI. And that consumption deflator ended up last year at 5%. I think it's going down to 3 to 4% this year without a recession.
It's still slow and sticky, though, right? The decline in inflation, and maybe a little more lumpy than some would have projected not that long ago, thinking that might, as I was saying with Joe Terranova, that it would be more linear in its decline.
Yeah, I think linear is not necessarily the way it's going to play out. We're going to have, I guess, some bumps along the road, as the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, called it. But all in all, I think that we are seeing certainly very strong disinflation in the goods part of the economy. Services, everybody knows the rent inflation measure has got some flaws in it. So we're all focusing on services excluding just focusing on services excluding rent. And what we're seeing there is the stickiness that you allude to. It's on a deflator basis, it's turning 4 to 5%. But I think it's going to moderate. A big part of that is transportation services. And I think that reflected energy prices, even though energy prices are not supposed to be in the service measure.
Right. But I want to get at this idea of a rate cut, which some have been hanging their hat on, you included, right? And Jeremy Siegel has been.
I haven't
you
been
don't
there,
think
Scott.
you don't think the Fed's going to cut rates down the road?
No, I haven't thought that all. Last year I didn't think it. This year, because I'm not in the recession camp. I've been in the soft landing camp. Now I'm wondering whether I should be in the no landing camp. But I didn't see any particular reason for the Fed to lower interest rates. I thought that they would take it up to 5.25%, and then they would leave it there. Look, I've been following the Fed script. The Fed's December script was that they're going to keep the Fed funds rate, get it up to 5.1%, and keep it there through year end. I don't have a problem with that. And then next year is where they're talking about lowering it to 4.1%, and then the year after that to 3.1%. That's a very plausible scenario to me.
So we see, right? We go from recession down to hard landing, down to soft landing. Well, the hard landing would be a recession. Then to soft landing to no landing, right? And it is so confusing to a lot of new investors. And the truth be told, nobody knows. And so everybody guesses, right? And someone's saying right now, yeah, Larry, you guess. Everybody has to make a plan. It is your money. It is your finances. You have to make a plan. Remember, that's why I always say anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell stock or crypto. It is up to you, all right? So there was a report out that ChatGPT called today the day that the market was going to fall off of a cliff. And unfortunately, somebody's listening to me actually traded based on that scenario, okay? And that's a big mistake. I had this conversation with a friend of mine. I'm not going to call his name because he'll get upset. And he was like, well, I'm going to play the SQQQ. And I said, based on a rumor of a robot that's supposedly been jailbroke, That's not a good enough reason. And so you'll hear a lot about that if you haven't heard about it. Let's see. I am filming this an hour before close, and I apologize ahead of time because sometimes after I'm finished, it takes more than 2 hours for it to finish processing, okay? So that's why there were a few issues. So let's take a quick look. I'm going to make this one quick, short, and to the point. Okay, let's look at where it is now. Now, this is an hour before close as I shoot this, and I'm going to get it up as soon as possible. We can see the Dow has fought its way back. Look at that. It was down a couple of 100 points. The S&P, look at that. NASDAQ is still strong. So if you're playing the SQQ, I feel sorry for you. All right. I did not. I did one S and one T, and they kind of equaled each other out. I made a little money get out, and it just wasn't a good play. That's why I really didn't play it. Right. But you guys have seen me make money over the last 6 weeks, really strongly over the last 2.5 weeks, just to show that even in a bear market, we can make money. Now, that doesn't mean that we're itching to get in the market every day and put ourselves and our finances at risk. Okay. So if you're looking through a microscope, or if you're looking short term, it looks like things are still bullish, right? But if you look long term in a telescope, you will see there's warnings, all right? And we talked about this on yesterday. And so you let me know what you're doing. But what I'm doing is I'm still trading cautiously. That's why I get into some options and I get into some stock. But I'm mostly swing trading right now, not every day, only when I see. I'm more like sniper trading right now. When I see an opportunity, and it has to be strong, because every time I get into a stock in a bear market, it's at risk. And I just don't want to have a lot of my money at risk. And someone asked me, Larry, are you still mostly cash? Absolutely. I'm not 85% cash. I'm 90% cash right now. And I'm okay with that. If we have already bottomed out and we turn around and last October was the lows and I missed the bottom, I'm okay with that. I still have 90% cash. The market isn't going anywhere. Pull up the S&P, pull up the Dow, pull up the NASDAQ over the last 14 months, and you'll see that we have a long way up and we're not in a bull market. We may have a no landing. We may trade sideways for the rest of the year. That just gives us time to accumulate. One of the things I am doing is dollar cost averaging, and that I'm never going to stop. But if the market does tank, I'm going to double down on my dollar cost averaging. I will probably triple down on my dollar cost average as it goes down, because I can guarantee you some of the people that are buying now, if the market turn around and tanks, actually most of the people will be afraid to buy when it tanks, because some of the people that was buying crypto when it was up, they are afraid to touch it now that it's down. And they're going to think that stock market is rigged. We're going to hear all of this stuff we hear all of the time. So just be ready, because if the market does tank, I will be one of the first ones going charge. Okay, so I want to end by something a little funny. Today is one of those days. It's just, I want to end with something a little funny that I want you guys to enjoy. Somebody took I ain't gonna say he took a swing at me, but oh my God, this was so hilarious. For those of you that don't know, I missed the Tesla bottom, and I said I wasn't gonna make another video about Tesla, but I missed the Tesla bottom, right? Signals were showing that it could have went down to about 85, right? But in my defense, I said that there's a psychological support at 100. It's going to bounce off of 100, and it could be range bound. It broke past the range, and it's like mighty bounce. It's not even a stock. It's a super stock. It's this is, Tesla needs to be a part of the Avengers, man. I bow down to the Tesla. Man, it's just, it defies gravity. It really does. So I'm going to end by something funny. So I want you guys to let me see if I can get this thing to stand still. I want you guys to watch this. It is so funny. Look at this, good people. Somebody left me this. Look at this. I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna play some slow music. I must have read this 15 times yesterday, and I laughed hysterically out of each one of them. Nick, you wrong for this, bruh, but I bow down to you for this one, Nick, because this one was funny. If you used to play in the dozens like me and my family, you get the dap, Nick, because this was hilarious. I'm gonna read this. Let me play some slow music. Go with it. Okay. All right. Heartbroken. I didn't get Tesla at the lame 85 or 90. I walked the streets in despair. I used to enjoy looking at streets. Now I just look at the concrete above my shoes. I missed a first-class ticket to Tesla Island, where the sandy beaches are perfect and no one brings gas. I missed that ticket for a $15 savings that never landed. Just finished my second bottle of Jack Daniels. Busy day. Thanks for the FOMO talk. Later. Okay. Jack, Nick, that was awesome, Nick. Thank you. I needed a laugh today, good people. Hey, I'm going to leave it right there. Hey, you know what? We doing numbers all day. I'm going to have a little fun. That's why I do what I do. Today is Weeble Wednesday. Thanks, Nick. I'm going to call you Nick Papa. Today is Weeble Wednesday. Make sure you download Weeble. It will be the top link. Deposit $1 and get 12 free stock, okay? We're going to leave it right there. We're going to talk about all of this data. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, learn, earn, and especially the laugh part, okay? Peace.